Welcome to my studio, or what's soon to be it. Because if you haven't been keeping up, boys and girls, this is gonna be a sick space to make all kinds of content. Maybe even tech content again. No promises, no promises. We'll see. It's gonna have crazy power, it's gonna have crazy networking. We already installed a sick HVAC system that's gonna save us a ton of money. Heck, the high voltage electrical's even done. But I just found out that the insulation, literally, I think it's 70 bags, they're arriving tomorrow. Look at all that insulation.
It's a lot.
Which means we need to finish the stuff that has to happen before the installation, like all of the networking, which we kind of started. There's 2 runs done, and we have like 24 more to go. Should be easy, but I'm not worried, because I got you guys to help me out, right? I don't actually need your help, because I have something better than help. It's called the plan, and it involves
laying some pipe.
Long, wide pipe. It's pretty big pipe. I'm sorry. You see, in a new build or a renovation like this one, when you're running low voltage cabling, it usually just gets run through the wall exactly like they do with high voltage, although there are some rules about, well, you have to keep it separated and yada yada yada. Point is, if you watched our electrical install video, you'll know that it was a lot of work, and I don't really want to do that again, because you can't mix high voltage and low voltage in the same hole. You have to use 2 holes at the same time. Oh yeah? One in each, yeah. Bringing us right on back to the long pipe. Despite the fact that every single one of these Ethernet runs needs to end up all the way over there, our soon-to-be studio space happens to occupy this space in the ceiling, typically referred to as an attic. And that means we've got these knee walls, which are going to stay accessible. And that means I'm gonna stick the long white pipe down the dark black hole repeatedly. Oh yeah. And once that's all in place, we can just toss the wires through. It's brilliant. And what makes it even more devious is that this isn't expensive electrical conduit. In fact, this is a PVC vacuum tubing. You wouldn't be allowed to run high voltage in this, but since this is technically not acting as protection for our low voltage wiring, it's just like an organizer effectively. It can be whatever tube we want, which is great because this stuff is really cheap.
But Jake, how are you gonna get the pipe to the other side? There's no knee wall on the end of the building.
We're going underground, baby. We're gonna try at least, because this building has a cantilever deck here, which means the floor joists for this portion are probably like run up to where this plywood ends. I could also just drill giant holes through the things that hold up the floor. That's probably fine, right? Look, before you get any further into this video, comment down below. Are Jake and Andrew gonna finish this electrical wiring within the few hours that they have? And then get subscribed when you're done leaving the comment, duh. And we've already hit our first major setback thing that's gonna make this take way longer than I was expecting. I wanna run the vacuum pipe kinda like right here, which is all fine and good. I could just take the vacuum pipe straps and tie it right to those little 2x4s, right? Wrong, because the plan for our insulation is to have an inch or so of foam underneath the actual rafters and where the standard fiberglass insulation goes. And that includes putting foam down here, which means if I put the vacuum pipe on here right now, I can't fit the foam on. We need to go cut all the pieces of foam for right here and put those on first. And I think that that's gonna make some really nasty dust. So I've moved the table saw outside and we're putting on a mask. Do not want to breathe this shit. Wow, that cuts like it's not even there. And that's called kickback. We'll get it next side, buddy. Hey, pull it through with me. There you go. There's foam flying everywhere. Oh, Andrew. Remember there's floor? Oh, I fucking threw my mask out. Motherfucker. Andrew up there just watching up from the cuck balcony. Young boy gets plowed by F-150. I know there's a probably more graceful way I could get this board out, but for the love of God. Oh, there is a nail. Motherfucker. Watch this. Put it around the nail, and then you just go like this. And then you just use the other end, and you finish pulling it out. And then you just rip the board up. What? Why is there flooring on top of flooring? What the fuck? And as you can see, there's the outside. I don't think we're supposed to be able to see that. Guess what? You see this? You see this? There's debt t-shirts now available at the link down in the description, jakkuh.shop. I'd really appreciate it if you would check them out. So you can wear debt. We also have debt mugs and debt hats and debt stickers. Check it out. Foamy foam. Gonna go somewhat kind of like ish. And to affix the foam, you're supposed to use these little fancy thin pieces of stamped metal that have little daggers. And then we're just gonna use a standard wood screw.
I'll get a shot of you going in.
Going in? What do you mean?
There.
What? I'm not going down that. I don't really fit in here. Usually when you're putting these pieces in, you spray a little spray foam between them to be like a better seal. I am not gonna do that right now. We will use tuck tape. And we just have to rinse and repeat an unconscionable amount of times. Man, this is a really good networking video. Oh, fuck. That is so monumentally fucking shit. What the heck is this? Is that the tile from the kitchen? Secrets of companion planting with flowers. Guess I better get into gardening. I just want to give a shout out to DeWalt. This is literally quieter than my house vacuum. And it sucks so good. It'll even suck all the mouse poop out of your house. No problem. Probably even suck up a whole mouse if you tried. Don't do that, but it probably would.
Armageddon!
How many mouses have peed on this wood? Okay, so the insulation is now on that bottom header board thing. I don't really know what it's called. Hit me up in the comments and let me know what it's called. I want you to mansplain to me, please. And while we could start putting the pipe along that insulation, why don't we start with the hard stuff for once? Specifically, getting the Ethernet from over here all the way to over there without occluding or messing up anything up in the ceiling, because remember, we're gonna be insulating and drywalling up to the peak of this roof. So we can't run wires up there unless you wanna see them. We're gonna use this fancy track saw and cut a slot because I don't wanna rip up like 17 sheets of plywood right now. Even though we do need to take them out at some point, that's a problem for later Jake. And current Jake is taking a shortcut, baby. We can make our lives a little easier by cutting out a section of it so there's less nails to pull up. We only have to pull up, like say, a quarter of the nails we would otherwise to get the entire sheet, but it's still gonna be a lot. You see how much it tweaks back? That was not deep enough. I didn't account for the track. Oh man, this thing cuts like a dream. I see the joist. Yeah, it totally went through. Oh, dude, we did that beautifully. Now we can put this piece back in here and it won't even be that sketchy. Is that rock wall? Also, why is there extra wood there? Oh, wow. This is a fucking solid beam? Like, I thought this was a box beam. Explains why the floor is so, oh my God, how are we gonna get through that? Fucking fuck, fuckity, fuckity, fuck, fucking fucker. Fuck. Why is it so big? Ow, that's really solid wood door. Oh, God damn, we haven't even run a single Ethernet cable and I'm already in a state of despair. And I bet you're in a state of despair every time you have to use your kludgy ass legacy VPN too, aren't you? Yeah, luckily our sponsor TwinGate can help with that, because not only does TwinGate's zero trust platform allow you to securely access remote networks typically faster than legacy VPNs without port forwarding, but it's also so easy to set up. Like, we're talking minutes here, and you can install it on pretty much anything, like my TrueNAS NAS or any device that can run Docker. Heck, it even generates the install command for you, so you only have to just copy paste like just one little thing. And you're started. And you can do way more than that. Just add a resource for any device on your network, or just, the whole network if you want, directly in the TwinGate panel, and it's ready for you to access from anywhere. Even out here in the field with my cow friends, hi. I can go on my phone and copy over a file just like I'm on the local network over cellular. So go try out TwinGate right now at the link down in the description, where you can get 5 users across 10 networks with up to 50 resources for free. No credit card required at jakkuh.com/TwinGate. Do it. The despair, it's gone. All that's left is cow. Okay, I took up some of the floor because I want to run some cables through here, and I'm looking at this beam that runs down the middle of the floor, I gotta go look downstairs and check, but I swear this thing is like 10 3/4 by 20. I gotta do like an 1.5 inch.
Why?
Conduit.
Why are you running 1.5 inch conduit through it?
Yeah, look, this guy's got valid questions. I wanna have a conduit that goes between the two sides, so if we have to pass a cable through it in the future, we can without having to rip up the floor.
Why don't you go overhead?
We're leaving the collar ties exposed and drywalling up to the peak.
Why?
Because it looks cool.
Why wreck the strength of that beam by punching a hole in it?
I mean, is it gonna wreck the strength of the beam if I cut a 1.5 inch hole through a 20 fucking inch thick beam?
Because it's such a long span, even though you probably could get away with it,
What I just heard is that we could get away with it.
don't go right to the peak. Stop like 2 feet down, so there's a little flat along the top. You end up with a channel up there to run shit down, and then you still get that cool exposed rafters look.
That might be too reasonable for me. I don't know.
Especially how much shit you gave the previous people for putting holes in the joists in the kitchen.
Are we on the same team here? Let us know if you're team dad or in terms of what kind of approach we're taking here. Ultimately, it's not gonna fucking matter because dad was right. You see, I looked into the actual code, and apparently for a glue lam beam like this, you're not allowed to drill bigger than a 1.5 inch hole. Also, I don't have the auger bit for it. Neither did Home Depot, but you know what Home Depot did have? This here, pack out hole saw kit. All of the hole saws. At some point, I'll probably reap 2.5 inch hole saw right through that. So we'll run the pipe like probably in this one, and then use 2 45s at the top and a little straight piece, and then we just put it right through. It's not gonna be the easiest thing to pull cables through, what with gravity being kind of a bitch, but it's better than the other option. We actually want to keep it as inward as possible so that it has the maximum amount of insulation between it and the roof, so that this doesn't end up becoming like a conduit for cold and hot air, depending on the temperature outside, and shitting it down into our conditioned knee wall space. There is also the complication that we need to drill through the center of the ridge board, not slightly offset like we're planning to strap this pipe. So I will need to like slowly negotiate it towards the center. I can't believe I've never been up here. Oh. Why does this thing only have a vent on one end? It's a little sketchier up here than I feel like I thought it was gonna be. I'm gonna put this piece of plywood down. I'm gonna crack. That's it. There we go, thanks, bud. Now I'm out of nails. It's so warm up here. This 2 inch vacuum pipe seems to be like exactly 2 inches if I take a 2 inch hole saw and stick it in one of the fittings. So I'm just gonna try and make a 2 inch hole, and we'll see if that happens to work. Because the smaller the hole, the better, I assure you.
Why'd you say it like that?
Why did I say, like what? No fit. So we gotta get a little bit more creative. Don't look at me like that. And now we clean up our horribly jagged hole with the side of the drill bit. Man, it fits, but it's really close to the roof. It's snowing. All right, bucko. It's really good when you're doing pipe stuff to dry fit everything before you glue it all in place, because that's the only time you really have a chance to make up for your mistakes. Oh yeah, it's locked in now. There's so much PVC cement on my leg. That is gonna feel awful when it dries. Let's screw it in and be done with it. Now, let's see if we can get the string through. Oh, dude. You know, it quite literally is vacuum hose, so. Do you feel the like?
Oh yeah.
Like if I put my hand, it jumps. We probably should have waited for the stuff to dry a little bit more, but let's see.
Oh. Okay, got it.
Ah. So I think this one, we run all the way down to the bottom. And here's what it looks like when it's all done. And then on the other side, it's basically the same story. It's just terminated up here rather than at the bottom, since the patch panel or rack thing that we're gonna put is, at least for now, gonna be right here. This way we can just put another PVC conduit strap thing there, or some sort of like cable chase thing, and then just run it right along here. Or heck, we could even bring it down over here and right over there, or over here and down there. Whatever we want. And that is what makes everything so fucking hard to decide. I hate this. The nice thing about this space is that we just had like an empty shell that's small enough that you can't really add rooms. It was mostly just like, let's put insulation and drywall and wires and stuff, and then we'll make the space work with furniture. I guess that means it's time to start running some wires. Oh wait, shit, we gotta run the conduit down the side. I'm having a crisis of faith right now. The whole pipe in the roof thing, fantastic. I love that. The thing that's tripping me up, my grand plan to run vacuum pipe through the knee walls in the back and then just use a T-fitting to just shit the cables out in here. It does work, and it is easier than auging holes for sure, but it's a little like janky. How does it get from that nice pipe up and then into this wall? I should just put the cables in the wall. We could even just do it up above. Straight shot down on each of them. It'd waste a lot of cable, but everything's awful. Let's glue some motherfucking pipe. Ow, fuck my head. And would you look at that? It's all strapped in, it's all glued up. You can see if our little riser piece is mostly lined up here. Close enough. I'll strap that up probably tomorrow because I ran out of straps. And we can start pulling some Ethernet, like, finally. There's also the other side we still need to do, but we're gonna speed run that side. It's beautiful, isn't it? You're beautiful too, because I know you're gonna go and hit that subscribe button because I'm definitely gonna at least have maybe 2 more good ideas like this before I die. And you wouldn't wanna miss that, right? Whoa, that is like 6-7 feet long.
Oh, this is
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's gotta be like 100 pounds maybe. The DeWalt vacuum also happens to double as a very convenient tool holder. Too bad you don't fit in there.
Shut the fuck.
You see all those spider webs? Yucky. You probably just clean up that part and then work your way down a little bit.
Yeah.
I have pipe for you.
Very nice.
Please receive my long wide shaft. Yeah, remember how I said the insulation was coming and that it was gonna be in the way? This is one pallet. One of the entire garage bays downstairs is full of insulation, and we are not anywhere near done. All right, time for us to talk about Ethernet cable. I got like 6 boxes. I'm dripped up in infinite cables. Phantom cables, that's the brand. The retail is Infinite Cables. But if they have infinite cables, how do you pick which one? There's Cat 5, 6, 6A, 7, 5E, 8. Cat 7 and Cat 8 were built for standards that never actually really materialized in the real world, at least as far as I'm aware. So the best option that you can realistically actually make use of is Cat 6A, which is what I have here. This stuff is certified to run 10 gigabit as far as 100 meters. For most people, I would recommend just going with Cat 6. That's actually still rated to do 10 gigabit at like 55 meters. At my old place, I even ran 10 gigabit over Cat 5E, even though it's not technically rated for it at all. And if you're shopping for cable, you might also see something like Riser CMR or Plenum CMP. The main thing there is if you're permanently installing the wire, generally to be decode, you need to have riser spec wire. That's the fire rating, so this stuff doesn't just like implode into a giant fireball. And if you're running the cable through the ventilation system in your house, well then you need plenum, because that stuff's insulation doesn't turn into toxic fumes when it burns. This stuff does, but toxic fumes and not fireball is good enough for inside the walls where you don't breathe generally. As much as we were trying to avoid auging some holes, we don't exactly have a choice. So that's gonna run out of our tube and just kind of go up a little bit through the rafters, come back down over to there. Okay. When we're crossing high voltage and low voltage, you wanna cross it like an X. I'm gonna get it nice and tight and probably staple it on the inside here so it's further away. And kabam! Since this is a box that has high voltage in it, we have these voltage dividers in there, and that allows us to run low voltage and high voltage in the same box safely. Holy shit, the Milwaukee cable stapler, so much easier than hammering a staple in. Oh my God, not even a competition. These cables will go kind of around here somewhere, leave a little extra, and cut them off. One set of runs done. We've only got like 12 more to go. You just tie a loop on both sides, like that, like each cable onto each other, and then you just pull them tight. Andrew, will you do the honors? Now you're ready to pull it to the actual termination spot and you don't have to mess around. Even though we're running the Ethernet down low here so it's separate from the high voltage where we can, I am still putting it kind of up here so that it's out of the range of any baseboard nailing. You just don't really want to end up in a situation where you run your Ethernet cable down here and then your finishing guy turns your cable into a bunch of Swiss cheese. We're not actually gonna drywall the back of this, so these cables are still gonna be accessible. It's not actually required, but it's still best practice to leave yourself a little bit of a service loop so that if you have to, for whatever reason, pull a little bit more cable out, you can. Over on the other side, things are, oh my God, get in the fucking hole. A little bit less optimal, let's say. When you're pulling conduit for cables, you usually want to do a maximum, like absolute maximum of 2 90-degree bends. But in our case, we've got one at the peak of the building up there, and then we're gonna have a 45 here, and then a 90. It's probably gonna be fine. Oh God. Hopefully all the cables pull through that easily. Now that we're done the easy side and we've got the other side prepped, it's time for us to run our runs through the peak of the roof. I don't think it's gonna be a problem.
We must have just gone over the peak. Yeah, there we go. You know what? Not that bad.
14 cables already in this tube. It's getting a little tough. I really wish we had lube, but we're going in dry. There it is. The last cable pulled through the top. 16 whole heckin' wires. Ka-chow! Ow, fuck. Does that say 2020? The garage must have a new roof. That might be the first unexpected awesome in the ownership of this property so far. I might have forgot about something. We're gonna be installing Ubiquity's fantastic access control system. That needs to go, definitely wanna buzz over here. Where's this? I needed that. Did I overheat the hydraulic impact? Maybe this is why people were telling me I should get an auging bit. That's the last cable. Woo! Doesn't it feel good, Andrew? My body kind of hurts, but look at my bank account. Oh. But hey, we can plug some shit in now. What if we made our editor work up here? He told me he was gonna quit. You guys don't know this, but Andrew, like everyone in the camera industry, is a massive Leatherman fan. Very predictable kind of guy, you know what I mean? And when they saw us using Andrew's Leatherman, where we were working on the garage door, they were like, yo, I'm gonna send you some stuff. So, what? Whoa, this is way nicer than yours. Oh. Why is it so nice? I could get behind this.
You're gonna be a new person.
I'm gonna be a Leatherman man. Is that a screwdriver? This is a Magna cut blade. All right, give me all your money. You bring a Leatherman to a Leatherman fight? Ah, shit. I wanna see at least one part of this network actually up and running. Not that we're gonna get to leave it like that, because you don't necessarily want your network switch full of paint and drywall dust and flooring dust and fiberglass dust. And this right here is at least the switch I was originally intending to use for this space. The Unify Switch Pro XG24 PoE. We're probably gonna need to swap this out with a 48 port switch, but for now, it will definitely do the job. Since we don't have any form of backup power on the property, aside from the generator hanging out in the garage. Oh, fuck, that's heavy. Woo! This Ubiquity UPS 2U. It's a little rack mount battery backup thing. Obviously, all of these cables are gonna end up in a patch panel, but for now, I'm just gonna terminate one of the cables for our access control reader, and then we can at least get that running. While that boots out, I should probably talk about how we're actually gonna get networking up here. Right now, we're using the point-to-point dishes we set it up. Whoa, must have been a couple months ago at this point, which have been honestly flawless, but that isn't the long-term solution. I wouldn't put 10 gig networking everywhere in here just to have a 3 gig bottleneck to the actual server in the house. That doesn't make any sense. We're gonna be replacing it with fiber optic cables, courtesy of Infinite Cables, and to make our lives a little bit easier, I had the electricians install these nice conduits that run all the way down here to the garage, where we've got this nice little structured media cabinet, as it's called. Otherwise known as just a overpriced metal box. I'm probably gonna trim this once we know where everything is actually landing permanently. And what we're gonna do is repurpose this conduit, which I think must run to the house. And then we'll have a high speed connection. I'm talking dual 25 gig to our studio from the crazy rack down in the basement that's definitely not set up and looks exactly like it did on the day we moved in. The gate almost broke me, but like something about pulling cables fucking sucks. Unified G6 Pro entry, very nice. Please ensure the rubber grommet is securely fastened to prevent water damage. Yeah.
Hope it's the right cable.
Oh shit, I didn't check that. It would be my luck for it to be not.
Oh! IKEA.
Hey, it fits. Oh, it does work. That means we're done this episode of Jakkuh's Farm Studio Build. There's still so much to do, but we're at the point now where we can insulate. finally, no longer will we be working in 40-degree weather. Get subscribed if you like this video, hit the like button, and let me know down in the comments if you think this is the coolest ratcheting screwdriver you've ever seen.